Welcome back to Edu Skills, OET made easy. Our mission is to make you fall in love with OET. If you're watching this on YouTube, kindly consider subscribing channel, give us a thumbs up if you like our work, and share this video to your contacts so that we reach out to maximum number of OET aspirants, especially those who are financially struggling to crack OET. All these services at Edu Skills are free of cost. Okay, keep smiling.
And today we are looking into beautiful reading part C. Okay, shall we begin?
Yes. Yes, Father.
Yes, Father.
Is about a question about gist, say onset or genesis, beginning of ADHD. See, first sentence itself says that is topic sentence. That's what I said. You have to understand the focus on the structure of the sentence. That is, that first sentence gives you the theme or structure or gist of the paragraph. ADHD begins in childhood. Where does the onset happen? Genesis or beginning of this particular disorder. So ADHD, the thinking goes within inverted commas, you can strike out. You need not even read. That's the secondary information which you don't require to get the gist of it. So ADHD begins in childhood is the topic sentence. Then you have adult, childhood, or genesis, that is onset, adulthood, adult onset, childhood, adulthood, adult onset, subthreshold ADHD, which means childhood, youth, kids. See how repeatedly they are speaking about the particular mother sentence I told you in the first introduction, the first sentence. They are repeating the same idea in all the paragraphs using this child, adult. So the first part of this paragraph speaks about childhood onset of ADHD, whereas starting, however, with a contrast with another name as a clue for you when you skim, they are speaking about adult onset. So the first part speaks about child onset, second part speaks about adult onset. So if the question is particularly from child onset, you may not come back to this particular area. You can remain here. If it is about adult onset, you can remain here. There are two questions, I believe, from this particular paragraph. The 18th one. In the fourth paragraph, see again, I said you should number the paragraph so that immediately you jump into fourth paragraph. The word they refer to. These are called referent questions or lexical questions. So what does the word they refer to? Okay, this particular word, they. And beautifully, I think recently somebody has put a beautiful Tina, I believe, in the Facebook. It clearly explains what it is. So here you see, however, studies from the UK and Brazil published in James Psychiatry, see this is not relevant between commas, so I have striked it, are fueling questions about the origins and trajectory of ADHD, suggesting not only that it can begin in adulthood, but there may be two distinct syndromes, adult onset ADHD and childhood ADHD. So, however, there's a contrast, it's a clue for you. The answer is here, studies. Okay, from the UK and Brazil. They refers to studies. They echo earlier research from New Zealand. Means this opinion, these studies give the exact opinion as earlier research from New Zealand. These studies from the UK and Brazil also echo earlier research from New Zealand. So they is the pronoun used or a referent used for studies. And this name leads you to this particular answer. Again, a clue for you to reach the answer immediately. In the fourth paragraph, the word they refers to syndromes, questions, studies, origins. So definitely it is studies, whatever comes prior to that. They, previous sentence, the subject, next pronoun. For example, I say, Tina is working hard to achieve A grade in OET. She, then the next sentence begins, she persistently practices with consistency every day. So she means Tina. So the first previous sentence subject will be referred with a referent in the next sentence. It's so easy, I tell you, it's a primary school grammar, which you can, and you have in every text, you have two questions of lexical type, which you can easily score. Hope it is clear. If not clear, definitely we are planning of each strategy we will take. Each strategy will have separate sessions. Yeah, please somebody read.
Dr. Farron suggested that the group of patients diagnosed with adult onset ADHD A. had teachers or parents who recognize the symptoms of ADHD. B. should have consulted a doctor at a younger age. C. had mild undiagnosed ADHD in childhood. D. were specially chosen by the researchers.
Yeah, See, Dr. Faran, so you have a name here. Immediately you can go to the text to find out the name so that you locate the answer immediately. Suggestion, it's a suggestion, you know. The word suggest says it's a suggestion of Dr. Faran. Let's see. See here. Now, Dr. Stephen Faran. This also tells you whenever you refer first time, even in your writing, wherever, you have to write the full name, whereas in the question statement, they have said Dr. Faran, the second name. So always first reference will be with the full name, second reference with the surname, second name. So definitely you can, you should not confuse. They think that the Faran is not here. So see, all these things are there. People who had sub-threshold ADHD in their youth. And perhaps we see the hedging word is being used. Okay. And sub-threshold ADHD in their youth. Sub-threshold ADHD in their youth means childhood. Sub-threshold is a childhood. So that's the synonymous language being used. Let's compare. See, Dr. Faran suggests that the group of patients diagnosed with adult onset ADHD had mild undiagnosed ADHD in childhood. Means people who had sub-threshold. Here he says, in Dr. Faran's words, the researchers found a group of people who had sub-threshold ADHD in their youth. Means they had mild undiagnosed ADHD in childhood. The sub-threshold is the synonymous being used for the childhood. There may have been signs that things weren't right, but not enough to go to a doctor. See, here it says, should have consulted a doctor at a younger age. Should. The modal verb is used. They are assessing whether you can understand the modal verbs. So here it says, should have consulted. Here they say it was not necessary. Okay. These were like, there may have been signs that things weren't right, but not enough to go to a doctor. There was no enough signs or symptoms to consult a doctor, but the B option says, should have consulted. No. There was no symptoms to consult. It was not needed at all. But here they say it would have been recommended. Okay, suggestive modal verb is used. Should. Had teachers or parents who recognized the symptoms of ADHD here. Perhaps these were smart kids with particularly supportive parents or teachers who helped them cope with the attention problems. Supportive parents and teachers who helped them cope with the attention problems. Such intellectual and social scaffolding would help in early life. So here they are saying teachers, and they did not had teachers or parents who recognized the symptoms of ADHD. They did not recognize, but they helped them out to come out of these attention deficit problems. Okay, and were specially chosen by the researchers. They don't say anything about they were specially chosen by the researchers. These students, they are speaking in general. The student early childhood ADHD.